All right, so leading off with this little memorable mnemonic device to remember what we're going to talk about in this video. The topic of this video is going to be how to get through training without pain and while moving better and hopefully maintaining better movements as you go through all of your training sessions. So, very obviously, you guys know I'm not a doctor. I am just a glorified meathead that tries to be as informed as I can when I'm making stupid meathead decisions. But as a stupid meathead, and as a stupid meathead who coaches other stupid meatheads, I have encountered a lot of people that have nagging joint pain, whether it's like hip, elbow, knee, shoulder, whatever. So this is an easy way for me to basically let people know what they need to do, keep it organized so they're not aimlessly warming up and basically rolling random stuff out, doing the random mobility drills, doing the random activation exercises that sometimes make that hip pain go away, the shoulder pain go away, but other times don't. This is a way to organize those thoughts, a way for whether it's you as one of my clients or you as just somebody who's watching this video, basically keep things in order and remember what you need to do each session to get through a training session and make sure that it stays productive so that you're not either putting yourself in worse position and hurting an injury more, or you're not basically unable to complete sessions just because of pain or inhibition due to an ache or a nagging pain or whatever is going on with one particular joint. So the acronym here and the thing to memorize is MCAT. Obviously I said I'm not a doctor. I am not thinking about MCAT in terms of the test. I'm thinking about it in terms of mobilizing, creating space, activating, and then training. This is the order in which I do things, and I am recommending my clients do things in order to make sure that nagging injuries and nagging pains, chronic injuries such as tendonitis, tendinoses, inflammation, and shit like that doesn't eliminate your opportunity to train and get better. It is merely something that you have to address. So when I say mobilize, what does that mean? That means start your session off with the soft tissue work that you normally would randomly do if something aches, but do this with a purpose. So for instance, my hip has been very, very painful over the past 3 years. I have a partially torn labrum, and it's just something that I don't want to have surgery on because the surgery is just basically I just don't want to. But I found implementing this is basically a surefire way to get through training and make sure that it is still productive. My hip hurts. So what do? I start off mobilizing, using a lacrosse ball to release my piriformis, my glute medius, and my TFL. These are all videos you can find on YouTube. I'm not going to put them in here, but basically, whether it's a hip, shoulder, or knee, you mobilize the tissue first. You do soft tissue work with the lacrosse ball, a boomstick from Kabuki Strength, a foam roller, or stretching, something like that. After you've mobilized the tissue and you allow it to move more freely, then you go through movement and moving freely. You create space. You do CARs, controlled articular rotations for the shoulder, knee, hip, whatever. You go through banded distraction drills, such as hip distractions. You can find those on Kelly Storett's page. Anything to basically open up the joint itself, because we hit the muscular tissue. Now we have to hit the joint capsule and the joint tissue and the connective tissue there. After we create space, we go through movement, unloaded movement, just basically telling your body, okay, we are moving freely, we are moving in a better position with tissue that is pliable and happy and cool. After you mobilize, create space, and then you go into activation drills. It is not activating the muscles that you are basically going to be releasing all the time. It's activating the muscles that you might be deficient in. So what I mean by that is if you shift on your squat And once, for me, for instance, I abduct, I open up on the left side more and dump more of my tension forward onto the right hip to avoid the left hip. So if I'm externally rotating more on the left side, what does that tell you I need to do? I need to be more conscious and aware of and intentional with the things that are going to adduct the left side. So what do? I do Copenhagen planks. I do some walking lunges in hip flexion, biasing my adductor, and even also doing my glute stuff. I have all those glute warm-ups and those lat warm-ups. This is when you would do those. You activate the muscles after you mobilize the muscular tissue. You create space for the joint to move freely, and then you activate the muscles that are going to buffer and bolster the area surrounding that area of nagging pain so that you can put tension on the tissues that want the tension rather than on the tissues that don't want the tension. And then after that, after you've sufficiently warmed up and activated, and I understand it's this whole argument, all muscles activate no matter what, but your brain doesn't activate no matter what. This is about becoming more intentional and more connected between your neurology and the muscles that are actually activating, developing the mind-muscle connection. After you do those three things, then and only then do you start to get under a barbell. If you do these things, you'll find that the pain that is nagging you, whether it's knee pain, hip pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain, lumbar back pain, scapular pain, or whatever, if you apply the MCAT order of operations to do things, I'm not going to guarantee, because obviously every situation is different, but I would be willing to bet a great deal of money that 99% of you, if you do these things intentionally and in that order, more often than not, the pain that you experience, the chronic, the chronic pain that you experience just due to being an active human that is strength training and trying to put muscle tissue on or get stronger, you would find that those pains become less, they become more manageable, and by being more, having tissue that is more pliable, the mobilization, having joints that are more comfortable in certain ranges of motion that create space, and then also having a better neurological connection between your brain and the muscles that you need to be using during these movements, the activation portion, the training is going to go a hell of a lot better. So if you guys like this video, let me know, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, do the whole goddamn thing. Sign up for my new programming on Train Heroic, or hire me as your one-on-one coach. It's all on my website. It's all on the link in my bio. It's all that shit. But if you want me to come out with more content like this, along with the professional videography stuff, just send some support my way, even if it is just like, hey, Joe, your video fucking was wrong, and you want to have a conversation with me, because I'd even appreciate that. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you apply this in your training, or if you have questions about what you should do for some particular issue, hit me up on my website or on Instagram DMs, and I hope that if you apply these things, you can get some more productive sessions in, you can get out of the pain that you normally experience, and you can basically just feel a little bit better in the gym, because that is the key here. The better you feel in the gym, and the less pain that you have, and the less you dread certain movements because of the pain that you have, the better progress you're going to make, and the happier you're going to be. And that's coming from experience.